Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Ian here, and I am in Beijing. But today I'm actually on the edge of Beijing. I'm out at a place called Shaogang Park, which is, if you remember right, where the typhoon flooding hit quite hard on the edge of the city. Now it hit harder in more of the rural areas and south of Beijing City. But this area I've been to many times, and I wanted to come back today and have a look to see what it's like a couple of weeks after the flooding from the typhoon. So come with me and I'll share what I experienced. Bear in mind it's 35 degrees today, super hot, a beautiful blue sky. Third Scottish person ready for me to melt. So when I came over in the metro, which was about 50 minutes from my side of the city, which is on the east side of the city. I travelled across the city on the metro, then changed lines, and that cost me, I don't know, not a lot of money, maybe £1 or so. I'll share that with you in the link somewhere out here. Just a little bit of a flash of a save screen of my ticket cost. But like I said, I was expecting it to have some sort of liquid water damage or whatever, but there wasn't much. The metro was running fine. There was a small dusky smell in the lower level of the metro, but it was quite a smart sort of robots driving around, releasing nice smell into the air, so they're obviously cleaning up quite rapidly. So I'm walking in the area where I believe it was hit quite hard, so yeah, stick with me, share more. So it is extremely hot now, so I'm trying to stay in and out the shade until I explore a little bit more. But just look at this. This is just stunningly beautiful. And this was the area where I saw on some of the video where the water was pouring over from this area with the typhoon. So this was quite badly hit, but it looks okay now. I mean, that's a couple of weeks after McDonald's. Couple of weeks after the typhoon, and it looks all good. I love this area. If you ever get a chance to come to Beijing, come here. So peaceful, and there's a mix of the old steelworks that used to be here, then the Olympic Park, there's some traditional buildings, there's the ponds, although there's a guy fishing and it says no fishing, rule breaker. So there's a lot to see. I recommend making the trip out to Shaogang Park, which is about 15 miles, 10, 15 miles outside from the main central area of the city, like the Forbidden City or so. So it's a bit out on the edge of the city, but it's worth the trip. I mean, just look at this, beautiful. You can hear the cicadas. Very, very noisy, and it interferes with the video recording sometimes, but they just rise up to a crescendo and then lower again. I always know when it's getting into that season. I actually stood on one or kicked one by accident, and the noise it made, it just, you know, really peed in my pants, as they say. So it's about 11 o'clock in the morning, Saturday the 19th of August 2023, and this is the Shaogang Park area, and you can see a beautiful bridge there. But also here is the ski jump from the Olympics. Remember you saw these two towers in the back in the Western media were saying, wow, shocking dystopian nightmare to put the Winter Olympics. But then that's what they always say. They always talk bad about China. And the reality is different. Stick to my channel. I'll tell you the real stuff. Definitely. Scotsman here in Beijing, telling it like it is. It's not very busy at the moment. It's very hot, but it's not that busy. Maybe because people are staying away because they think it might still be damaged, but it certainly doesn't feel like it's damaged, if you ask me, because this was the area that I saw really swamped with typhoon rain. So it feels perfectly fine to me, back to kind of normal. The last time I was here, in this spot, it was just the same. If anything, obviously more green the last time I was here during the winter, so that makes sense. But yeah, I just love being out, walking about, sharing with you the real China, none of that other nonsense. Yeah, Beijing Olympics, ski jump. Hey. Cicadas, hear them. The last comment about the flooding, for the video that I saw, and the water was pouring up, I reckon the person was actually standing up here on the skywalk. So the flood that you saw when I shared it was this water flooding here, and it was extreme, absolutely extreme flooding. But as you can see, as I walk around, life is getting back to normal. And life here in China is okay. So the walkway that I pointed to when I was saying it was flooding, even though I said I wasn't going to mention the flooding again, is above me, but it's actually closed. So I don't know if that's an effect of the flooding or whatever. But they blocked it off, and they said to me that I couldn't go up, and then they gave me a bottle of water for nothing because I looked hot apparently. Nice people, as always. So it's getting hot, real hot, and as I said earlier, this wee Scotsman will melt. Anyway, just to give you an insight into what this area is, it's an old steel mill, in fact one of the biggest in the world. It's now closed. I think it closed in the 80s or something, and it's been transformed into commercial area, leisure, and 2 lakes where people boat and canoe and stuff. Lots of shops, restaurants and businesses, so it's a up and coming area. It's not as busy, I don't think, yet as what it's been planned, but I'm quite sure, like much of China, is being planned for the future. So what you see here, although some of the buildings are empty and some of them are full with companies and industries and so on, I think it's got a bit of a way to go. Fingers crossed it is very successful, because I do like this area. I'm quite sure it will be. I mean, there's 25 million people in and around Beijing City, including some of the rural areas. So this will drag people in to see something different, and it is something different. So I'm sure it will be top. I'm going to walk a little bit more, share a little bit with you, grab a beer, and then head off, I think. This is a stop for the automated car taxi. No driver. Car drives up, you scan, put in your number, jump in the car, and it takes you to another part of the park. Magic. I know that's happening in other cities, but when you see it, there's no driver. It's always a little bit, But it's the future. Don't knock the future. The future is bright. Beer. It's midday. That is a museum and a library. It's very cool inside. I've been in before. In fact, I've shot a video for here before. So if you go to my channel page, you'll be able to see a video that shares a little bit more of the park. And during the winter, I think there's two maybe. Anyway, check it. There's plenty of video there about Beijing. You decide what you want to do. It's your life. Just love this area. It's the kind of industrial feel to it, as well as the traditional old-fashioned buildings that are dotted around. I know they've been designed to give you that feel, but it just adds to the whole place. Right now I'm looking for the brewery, which is a pub. I want a midday beer before I head off, but there is a Starbucks over there as well, but I fancy a beer. So that's me finished for the day. Had my beer, 3 tacos, ice cream. I love ice cream. Ice cream and beer, my favourite. Not good for you, but hey, for all life's adventures and all that. Anyway, this is me wrapping it up. Going to head off, head back home. Wishing you well. Take care of yourself, your family, your community, and as always, peace out. Catch you in the next video.